What's happening, everyone? Matt here on the Vinyl Head UK channel. I've got another vinyl appreciation video just for you guys. Thank you for checking out the channel. Don't forget, if you are new here in these parts, to drop a subscribe for me. Let's build this channel up. Let's share it out as much as we can. But yeah, another vinyl appreciation for you guys. So I've talked a little bit before about rock and metal. We cover rock and metal a lot on this channel. That's my main love in music, is rock, hard rock, metal, all types of metal really. But I also often mention about country. And I have a record next to me that definitely fits into the country bill. Country rock, maybe more than just country, but country nonetheless. It's a band that I have covered before. And earlier this week, in fact, I went back down home, and my dad and I went and did some record shopping, which dented my bank balance, as I'm sure many of you who collect vinyl will know. It's not a cheap hobby, but it's a good one. And I picked up a few new records. Now this one next to me is one that I've been seeing for a while. It goes quite cheap on Discogs. It wasn't really very expensive in the record store, so I saw it and I thought I had to get it. I've gone through the rock and metal. I picked out a few which we will cover in future videos here. And then I went and checked out a bit of blues and then finally country. And in the country section, I found this. It's Legacy by the Cadillac 3. Their third album by the Nashville three-piece. As I say, I've covered a Cadillac 3 album in the past, so go back and check that video out. But yeah, it's a good record, this. I really like this one. As I say, it's the third record by the band. This was released in August 2017 on Big Machine Records, which is a label that I think all of Cadillac 3's records have come out on. It deals with country, it deals with pop, so it makes sense for a country act like this to be on that roster. But yeah, I think all of their records to date have been out on Big Machine Records, and this is a European press, 27 European press. And it was new in the store, so it's in real good nick. There's no dents, no bumps, anything like that. Artwork wise, it's very basic. It's just that big Legacy with the Cadillac 3 underneath. Sometimes I like to explore artwork and meanings. Sometimes I just think it's a cool picture. But I think with this one, it's quite a bold statement. The band are leaving a legacy. They don't need to put anything else on there. It's plain and simple. The legacy is in the music. They don't need the artwork, anything like that. That could be one meaning of it. There may be a different, or they could have just been lazy. Who knows? On the back, it's more of the same. It's that black backing, nice gold writing with our track listing going down there. Produced by the Cadillac 3 across there. And then your Big Machine Records logo down the bottom there. So yeah, pretty basic, simplistic. As I say, it could just be that the music does the talking. The music is the legacy. They don't need any other thing to sort of cement that legacy. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. This is a gatefold, just like the last one that I talked about. I have to sit back a little bit for you guys to see right there. So it's a nice picture of the three of them. So Jaren Johnston on vocals and guitar, Kelby Ray on lap guitar, and then Neil Mason on the drums. And that lineup has stayed the same throughout. They did go by another name initially. I can't remember what the name of that band was called off the top of my head. but they did go by another name, and then they became the Cadillac 3. And then we get to modern day. So it's a nice picture of the three of them sat there. And then the other side is our lyrics. If you can see it, I'm going to hold it there so you guys can see a little bit better. All of our lyrics, who's written each song, thank yous from Kelby, Jaren and Neil, and all your production notes and everything like that. So nice little gatefolds, nice picture. They've got their beers in that picture, which, if you know Cadillac 3, they like to drink and they like to sing about drinking as well. The record itself, just basic in the white sleeve there. And then black vinyl as per normal. Side A is this one. So you can see right there, Legacy in the same writing. It's quite basic. There's nothing really much to it right there. Same on the flip. So yeah, basic. Basic compared to some of the records that we've covered on the channel. Like I say, I do like looking at artwork, and as I've always mentioned before, you've probably heard me say this if you follow the channel, but one of the reasons I do like vinyl is because you have that artwork. I mean, something like this, it doesn't matter whether it's a CD or if it's, you know, the little tiny artwork on Apple or Spotify, because, well, there's nothing really to it, so that doesn't matter. But I like having this big product where you can properly delve into the artwork and look, and as I say, not this one, but with other records, I've definitely noticed bits on the artwork that I never noticed before, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I always kind of like checking it out and just having that big picture in front of you. And of course, some people display their records as almost pictures on their wall, or, you know, in amongst their record collection, show off that artwork, and rightfully so. Maybe not this one so much, but definitely with some of the metal releases, you know, Iron Maiden records and stuff like that, and, you know, even maybe someone like Slayer or Cannibal Corpse. But we're going off track. We don't want to dive into metal. This is a country record right here. So our track listing, it doesn't actually break it down into the two sides. I don't think it does on the record either. So I'm going to have to go on memory as to what is side A and side B. But Cadillacin, Tennesse, Hank and Jesus, Dang If We Didn't, and Ain't That Country. I'm pretty sure that's where side A stops after Ain't That Country. Flip it over, B, side B, side 2. American Slang, Take Me to the Bottom. Long Hair Don't Care, Love Me Like Liquor, Demolition Man, and then the title track rounds off the record, Legacy. And that makes up our record. It's 11 tracks, 5 on the first side, 6 on the second. I think I've got that right. Don't shoot me down if it's wrong. I'm pretty sure. I always try and listen to the record before I come and do these videos, just so it's fresh in the mind. And I think that's where we got to, Ain't That Country, before I had to go and flip that record over. Sound-wise, so it's a country act, it's a country rock act. It's not your out-and-out country that, if you're not familiar with country, you might expect it to be. It is quite cliche, though, on lyric content. You know, these guys sing a lot about beer, about like keg parties, about riding your pickup somewhere with your friends and then stopping and having a load of beers, trucker caps, turning volumes up on the speaker, you know, all sort of cliche country topics get covered in Cadillac 3 records. And being proud of being Southern is definitely one that pops up a lot. You know, these guys are from Nashville, and they're very proud of it. They're proud of being Southern Americans, and they quite often sing about that. So yeah, there is a lot of, I guess, maybe stereotypical cliche topics covered. That doesn't really change in any of their records. I think they're up to 5 studio records now. They did 2 in 2020 alone. But yeah, there definitely is a theme. The last record, interestingly enough, went a little bit funk. It's a very sort of funk orientated record. So imagine like funk country. That's definitely new on me. I don't know about you, but that was a new one on me. But yeah, this is very, Southern rock influence. You hear, the influences from bands like ZZ Top in there. And yeah, everything you'd expect them to sing about. If you're familiar with the first 2 records, everything you kind of expect them to sing about, they will sing about a little bit more. But there's nothing wrong with that. It's a formula they have. They broke away from that mold a little bit with the last record being very funk orientated. But if it's working for them, it's working for them. They've definitely grown in stature in the UK. I don't know how it is in the States for them. I imagine not too bad. I've seen them on like the Country Music Awards and doing various shows out in Nashville. So I think there is popularity behind them, but they definitely have it here in the UK. Country music in the UK has grown in popularity, definitely over the last 10 years or so. We have the Country to Country Fest, which is London, Dublin, and I believe in Glasgow as well, which is a 3-day festival. A little bit different to sort of the festivals I've talked about with Download and Reading and everything. It's in an arena. It's just in the evening. But each night is usually headlined by a pretty major country artist. And the Cadillac 3 have been on the Country to Country bill quite high, actually. I think, I don't know if it's the one coming up or a previous one. It might have even been one that got cancelled. But they were essentially sub-headlining to Eric Church, who is a real big name in country, very rock and roll type country singer. I think country and rock do kind of go hand in hand a little bit, it's definitely with these guys. So yeah, the popularity is definitely growing in the UK, and they're over here a lot. They've done festivals like Download, for example. They've done really nice support slots in arena shows for bands like Blackstone Cherry, done a lot of their own tours. I mentioned this story a little bit before, so I won't go over it too much again, but the first time I saw them was in a very, very small venue supporting a band called the Gravel Tones, who are a great English 2-piece rock band. And didn't really know anything about Cadillac 3. I checked them out a little bit on Spotify. I heard I'm Southern, which, if you know Cadillac 3, you'll know that song. Really liked it. Watched them play. Went to the bathroom just before the Gravel Tones came on. They were coming on as I was in the bathroom. Raced out, pushed this guy out the way because he was blocking my way, and I wanted to go and see the Gravel Tones, a band that I'd come to see. And it was Jaren Johnston. I'd only gone and shoved the, not hard, injure him or anything, but just moved him out the way so I could see the Gravel Tones. And it, turned out to be a singer of a band who I very much admire, but I don't know if that's my claim to fame or a bit of a shame. I don't know. Who knows? But popularity is definitely rising with these guys. Now, the record itself, as I say, it's covering everything you kind of expect. You have sort of the foot stomping tracks. Cadillacin, the opening track, is that sort of, that typical rocky country song that you're going to stamp your foot to and just have a good time, and they're singing about the keg parties and the trucks and everything else, turning the volume up on their speakers. Tennesse, the second track, is probably one of the heavier tracks that they've put out. They do have moments where they do get heavy. Now, I'm not talking about heavy as in some of the bands I've talked about. We've covered a lot of bands like Deicide and Bloodbath and Metallica and stuff. Not heavy like that, but heavy in terms of this style of music. And Tennesse is a very slow to mid-tempo track that is heavy for Cadillac 3 standards. Of course, singing about the state that the band are from, coming back, whether they've been on tour or whatnot, coming back to Tennessee, get out the vinyl, girl, put your black dress on, coming back to loved ones, missing those loved ones. But yeah, it's a heavy one for Cadillac 3. There's some nice slower moments on the record. Ain't That Country is one of my favorite tracks. I wouldn't say it's a ballad as such, but it's really nice, sort of tastefully done track. That isn't your typical foot stomping Cadillac 3 song. It strips it back. This is definitely, I think, a maturer record as well compared to the first two. As I say, it's a similar formula, but I hear maturity more in this. There was babies born and weddings and whatnot whilst this record was being made. So I imagine that increased the maturity a little bit and it transcended into this record. Love Me Like Liquor features Laurie McKenna. She is credited right there. So adding that female vocal in gives it a different edge, something we haven't really heard before. Favourite track on the record is Demolition Man, which is the second last track. It's very catchy. It's very sing-along, which a lot of these are there. Whether it's the sort of foot-stomping, howl-raising country rock sound, or it's a stripped-down number like Ain't That Country, they're very sing-along-able. Have I made that up? I don't care. It's my channel. I can do what I want. They're sing-alongable. You can sing along with these tracks. You get the choruses stuck in your brain very easily and sing along, whether they come on the radio while you're driving, whether you got the CD or the vinyl, whether you're seeing them live. You can sing these choruses along with them. They get stuck in very easy. They're catchy. And that's one with Demolition Man. It's a really catchy track. It's definitely my favourite on the record. And then Legacy, which again, I wouldn't go and say it's a ballad, but again, it's definitely a slower track about leaving their legacy. It is a very nice track. It's probably one of the most mature tracks that they've done up to this point, just talking about the first 3 records here. And that makes up the album. It makes up the record. You know, as I say, there's a lot of talking about drinking. Maybe not as obvious as some of the track titles or tracks that they've done. But obviously when you have Love Me Like Liquor, it's not going to be about much else than probably liquor. You know, and stuff like Long Hair Don't Care. They're singing about drinking and all sorts. So, yeah, it's keeping that theme that's worked for them so far. And just, in a way, just taking that maturity up. It's a really good record. I wouldn't say it's my favourite one of theirs, but it's definitely strong. I think all of their records have been strong, bar maybe the funk one, just because I didn't get on board with it so much. I've only listened to it a small handful of times. I think I need to listen to it a little bit more to maybe have it hook me in a little bit more. But other than that, the other 4 records, I really like all of them. It's simple, it's basic, it's just 3 guys playing good, solid country rock. It's nothing original, it's nothing you haven't heard before, but it really works. It really, really works. And they're very catchy songs. Jaren Johnston has wrote a lot of songs for other artists, country artists. He has a lot of song credits to his name. Sometimes I believe the band will write a song. If it doesn't quite work for them, it will get offered out to other artists to do a little bit of their spin on it and take it a little bit further. So yeah, a very talented songwriter is Jaren Johnston, and you can just see that on these Cadillac 3 records. Legacy. Are they leaving a legacy? I think so. I like them. I like Cadillac 3. A little bit of country rock and roll. 3rd album by the band. Go and check it out. If you want something a little bit different on the channel to your Bloodbaths and your Deicides and your Iron Maidens and your Judas Priests, You want to chill out a little bit, go and check these guys out. I think you'll be singing all the way home in your cowboy hat and your pickup truck even, with your beers. But don't drink and drive. Stop when you get home. Drop the back of your truck. Have some beers. Do it sensibly, remember. I don't want to get you guys in trouble by going and telling you to drink your beer whilst driving your truck, listening to the Cadillac 3 on full volume. That would be reckless. But there we have it. Thanks again for watching. Subscribe, hit the bell for all notifications. Smash that like button. As always, I'm Matt, Vinyl Head UK. Go and buy vinyl. Go and listen to vinyl. I'll catch you guys soon.